welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Grizzly, and today we're looking at a case of a woman who escaped a kidnapper. And while this has not been confirmed yet that there may be other people he kidnapped who may not have survived, according to the victim's statements to the police, it's not confirmed yet, but this could be the case of a serial killer in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. Welcome, everyone. Also, sorry if there was a bit of double sound there on that intro. My bad. Hope you're all doing well on this Sunday. What's the date today? 9th of October. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up, share, so we can get this case out in the news as well. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So let's look at the presentation I've made for you so that we can look at what we know so far. I just quickly want to check a message. Hold on one second. Okay. So this is what we know so far. I'm going to show you my presentation, then a news article. We're going to look at all the statements that the police have made. We're going to do some map time and figure out what is going on here. And this will be part one of covering the case because there will be updates and I'm looking out for them. Thank you so much to everyone who sent me this case. I really appreciate it. It's quite something, huh? Okay, so what we know so far. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Yeah, a cereal. Thank you for the misspelling this. That's great. Cereal, yeah. Unaliver, exactly. All right. So what we know so far. On the morning of Friday, October 8th, in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, a young African-American woman escaped a house on Orchard Street. So the thing is that the lady whose house she was later taken into said that this woman is 23 years old. So that's now not confirmed by official police statements. It's confirmed, I would say rather speculated, but she said the lady said she was 23 years old. All right. She had a metal collar. I say here all rope because there was a 911 call that took place. And that lady said that this woman's running around and asking for help, and she's got a rope around her neck. Okay, but she, according to the lady who actually took her in, she had a metal collar around her neck and then ran door to door begging for help. One resident, Lisa Johnson, and then I didn't finish the sentence here, called 911. Another woman's grandmother took her in, gave her a blanket and food, and then called the police at 7:47 a.m. So this is just layer number one. As you know, that's what we do. We just look at bullet points and then we look at a deeper look at an article and then we go layer by layer. Okay. So don't worry if you feel a little bit lost now. It's just some bullet points. So she was transported to a local area hospital and is in a stable condition. Her family was reunited with her there. The police got a search warrant and they arrested Timothy Haslett Jr. He's been charged with first-degree kidnapping, SA, and second-degree assault. I'm just going to say assault. Clay County Prosecutor's Office. Okay. Oh, sorry. Was it Friday the 7th? Thank you, Emma. You are right. It was Friday the 7th. On Friday. Last week, Friday. The victim had said, he killed my friends. My friends didn't make it. And the woman who took this victim in said that she was saying this over and over again. He killed my friends didn't make it. The police have not reported that they've located any additional victims of crime in the house, but they are processing the scene, which is expected to take several days. The man did not own the home. Evidence was seen being bagged, and then a blue barrel was spotted being taken out of the basement. A tow truck driver came to tow the vehicle away, and he has reportedly stated that he's towed a number of vehicles away from that area in the past couple of months. The house in question is 301 Old Orchard Avenue. All right. So this whole tow truck driver saying that he's actually towed a number of vehicles away from that area in the past couple of months. I don't know if he means from that specific house, but in some ways it could make sense if this guy was switching out cars, not only because it appears he's a serial kidnapper and we're yet to find out if he's a killer, but he's actually, if you look at his records, he's got a lot of records, a lot of charges for reckless driving and causing accidents. So it's kind of like drunk driving infractions. One was even pending or had an active arrest warrant. Yes. So there you can see the police tape and the tent and everything. Now, Timothy has a young son, they say a first grader, a dog, and a drone that he was frequently spotted flying. So that's quite interesting because, neighbors and people in the community said, wow, he would often be standing outside flying his drone. But he wasn't very friendly. Matthew White, whose mom lives in the area, has delivered pizza to him for a few years and said that he found it strange that Timothy asked him to step inside to receive a tip. So, in completing all the payments for the pizza that he delivered, he's like, come into the lounge. And he was like, that's weird. Doesn't that remind you of John Wayne Gacy a little bit? My goodness. Missy Hancock, a neighbor, spoke to him once in person, and she said he was a bit strange and was not very talkative. Now, we are going to look at all these interviews as well. She said that she may have spotted a mother or a mother-in-law picking up the child for school. There's a TikToker, so I'm tongue-tied today. My goodness. There's a TikToker, Ash Centric, who saw the man in line at school dropping his son off that same day. That was last week, Friday, October 7th. And the son was a first grader, and this was at the same time that the woman had escaped. So that's how there was a moment for her to be able to escape. Timothy divorced the mother of his child in 2016. Apparently, he got full custody of the child. This is now allegedly, from what I've heard from TikTok and everywhere else, that allegedly he got full custody of his son in 2018. Other members of the community commented on how smart the little boy is. Timothy has had several charges in the past for careless driving resulting in an accident, and one had an active warrant for his arrest. Yes. Janet says, he was a quiet man. Yeah, beware the quiet ones. Yes. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Okay. So we've got a lot to work through. So what I'm going to show you now is, let's take this off for a second. That was just an overview. Now we will be looking at this. First, I'm going to show you this article because it'll just give us another great overview. Then we're going to look at all the police clips and things. This is from the Kansas City Star. Police tape blocked off several streets Saturday as authorities continued an investigation into a kidnapping in SA at an Excelsior Springs house. Timothy Haslett Jr. was arrested Friday and charged with first-degree SA, first-degree kidnapping, and second-degree assault in Clay County Circuit Court. A malnourished victim apparently broke free from the home early Friday morning, screaming for neighbors to help her, police said. When we made contact with her, it was readily apparent that she had been held against her will for a significant period of time. So we don't know yet. How long has this woman been missing? How long did he have her there? So that's what Excelsior Springs Police Lieutenant Ryan Dowdy said. They say here police in Excelsior Springs continued their investigation of a kidnapping in SA of a woman who reportedly escaped Friday from a home in the 300 block of Old Orchard Street. The victim, who is from the Kansas City metropolitan area, was transported to a hospital and was in stable condition. Her family had joined her at the hospital, Dowdy said Friday evening. Police on Friday and into the weekend focused their investigation on a home in the 300 block of Old Orchard Street. The woman had told police that there were possibly 2 other victims, though police declined to say if other victims were suspected or had been located. A cadaver dog was brought out to search the property Friday, but police declined to comment on any findings. A truck was moved into an evidence area, and neighbors reported witnessing the removal of a blue barrel from the basement into the yard, which was placed under an evidence tent that had been set up by Friday. If this turns out to be a serial killer case, which I really hope it doesn't, but if it does, it's almost like John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer. It's, because Gacy kept victims in the basement. Well, actually in the crawl space. This would be in the basement. But it's that, and then the blue barrel. You just think of Jeffrey Dahmer as well, and it's like, oh my word, what is going on in this house? Wow, it must be scary for police to go in there and see what on earth is going on in here. Police asked for the community to be patient as they continued to search the Old Orchard Street at the home so they could get justice for the victims and make sure that she's taken care of and that this case doesn't fall by the wayside. On Saturday afternoon, Excelsior Springs Police Chief Greg Dull, said in a news release that there were numerous items in the residence that have to be sorted through, and it's a slow, painstaking process. The investigation was ongoing, and additional charges could be forthcoming if evidence of additional crimes is uncovered. Excelsior Springs neighbors and the community at large continue to await news of any findings stemming from the investigation as it entered its second day. Among them was Susan White, who said she hardly got any sleep Friday night through Saturday morning, as flashing red and blue lights from the police vehicle shone through her bedroom window. She and her family have lived across the street for 2 years, but they've been part of the community for 3 decades, and her now grown children were educated in Excelsior Springs schools. She and other neighbors have spent the past day in a state of worry, wonder, and disbelief. It's just so crazy, White said. She was in the house and we didn't even know. That could have been me, she added. That could have been my daughter. Over recent weeks, Excelsior Springs had seen a share of crime and violence, including a police shooting where a man was killed and an officer was wounded, and another fatal shooting across town that left a mother of 5 dead. Residents have told The Star those events have been troubling sight for the small suburban community. It's a small town, White said, adding, "We've been here forever, and the past month and a half for this town has been absolutely nuts." Okay, so we've looked at that one. I'll put that in the description box for you as well. This is the lady whose grandmother took the kidnapped woman in. Here at the bottom, she said, Jenny Long Refford, she's 23. I live 5 houses down. My neighbor called the police, but was afraid to let her in, so she knocked on my door and begged my grandma to help. So now let's have a look at this one. Let me know if you can hear.
Springs Police Department. Just an update as far as what you guys got from earlier. So this is going to be a multi-day process. This crime scene is going to remain in place for multiple days. It is going to hinder traffic flow and residents through this area. We have multiple agencies out here that are helping us. What's getting ready to happen is the Kansas City Crime Scene Unit, which has been great through this entire thing. They're going to wrap up what they've done for this evening. They'll be finishing that within the next hour or two, and then they will be coming back in the morning first thing, and we'll be going at it again. So this is an ongoing, we continue to find more and more stuff. The dog that was out here earlier that many of you saw, that's a cadaver dog. We can't report on the actual findings of the dog yet. They're going to give us an actual report. As soon as we get that report from them, we're going to let you guys know. So they did come out. They did a thorough search of the grounds. There was a truck that was here earlier. That truck has been moved into an evidence holding area for us. The cadaver dog has went down there and is also checking the truck. So we're just...
Okay, so the cadaver dog is very busy looking at everything. There's a clip of it that I'll show you at some point here in some of these clips. We've got lots of things to look at. We're going to look at the TikTok accounts as well, from a woman who lives in the community that saw the man in line at the school dropping his son off at the same time where this woman was busy escaping back at his house. So we will do map time for those of you asking. We definitely will be doing that. I just wanted to show you first, let's look at the case. Let's look at this clip, then we can do some map time, then we look at more clips. Okay.
Trying to cross our T's and dot our I's on this. At some point, this whole area is going to be secured at this property. We expect to have this property and holding it for an extended period of time. So at this time, that's about the best I can give you as far as our investigation up to this point. You guys are welcome to stay here as long as you want. I just ask that you please be respectful of the residents in this area. And like I said, we will be back here first thing in the morning. I'm not going to take very many questions. If you weren't here for the very first briefing that I gave, I can try to clarify some of those things. Other than that, that's where we're at.
Thank you so much all for being here. I really appreciate it. If you're only rolling in now, we're looking at the case of a woman who was kidnapped. I don't know exactly when she was kidnapped or how long she was held hostage at this house in Orchard Street in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, and she escaped on Friday, August 7th, and the man who was renting the house and also has a young son and a dog and was often seen flying his drone outside, he was also arrested. So now there's a lot of police tape around here, and they're doing an extensive search of the property, which they said would take multiple days. And this could potentially be a serial killer case, even though we don't have confirmation of that yet. Nancy says for sure, Jeffrey Dahmer, yes, and Ariel Castro, meet John Wayne Gacy vibes, definitely. Exactly. Do you guys remember the Ariel Castro case as well? This case does remind me of that as well, because I don't know if this perpetrator would offer his victims rides home, but Ariel Castro did that and had kidnapped 3 women and kept them for very different times, but let's just say an overview about a decade. And he had, impregnated one of the victims as well, and one escaped with the child, and then they were all rescued. But this case, and hearing that this victim who escaped the house had a collar on and was very likely restrained and all that in the house, and obviously the motive would be SA, right? It does remind me of all of these, right? So especially if there's a blue barrel, and then we've got the kidnapping and locking up in rooms, and then John Wayne Gacy, because oh my goodness, of the basement, it's quite something, huh? Yes, thank God you got away to prevent the cycle. Yeah, and he has a son, a first grader. So does first grader to you guys in the USA mean the same to me? Like, how old is a first grader? Would that be like age 7? In South Africa, if we say first grader, this would be like a 7-year-old, I would say. Okay.
Anybody?
Lieutenant, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors. What can you tell us about what happened here?
So this morning at about 7:47 a.m., a woman apparently came from this residence, and she began banging and screaming on neighboring doors. While she was doing that, a neighbor took her in and secured her until we could make contact with her. When we made contact with her, it was readily apparent that she had been held against her will.
You can see here he's like showing, he just said readily held, and he like did this motion with his hand, so you could see there is showing like something was on her neck, and restrained for a significant period of time is what he just said. So I wonder how long that would be, right? Yeah, okay, you guys are confirming age 6 to 7. So the son that he had living there with him was age 6 to 7, because they say first grader, and he had a dog and he had a drone hobby, but of course wasn't very chatty with the neighbors. I also don't know how long he'd lived in this area. Yes, Night Torvin, he's using the Grizzly Sleuths one. Of course, StreamYard doesn't show the emoji, unfortunately, but yep, let's sleuth it.
For a significant period of time. So we then had her transported to an area hospital where she is now in stable condition. Then from there, based on her statements, it led us to this residence, which is turned into this search warrant that you guys have seen executed right in front of you guys all day today from multiple agencies. And that's going to continue for the next few days.
A possible suspect name has been floating around. Can you give us the name of the suspect?
We're not going to release the suspect. I'm sorry, I meant to give you guys that as.
But now they have released the name of the suspect, which we just saw as well. Timothy Haslett Jr.
Well, the suspect is in custody. We are submitting charges this evening. We expect that those charges, once they get processed, then we're going to give you guys the name. So that's all on the prosecutors. There was a group of people out here that you guys saw earlier. Some of those were from the prosecutor's office. So we expect that will be coming either late tonight or first thing in the morning. And once he gets charged, then we'll give you his name.
I understand that, she ran to the neighbors, went to neighbors for help. Here's a woman screaming, help me. It's frightening then for the neighbors too.
Sure.
And yet someone called 911 and someone else let her in their home. Anything you want to say?
So there, if you hear that, the lady escaped. She's 23 years old. An African-American woman, the victim, escaped this house while he was dropping his son off at school. And she had a collar around her neck. I'm not sure what she was wearing, but she was running around this neighborhood, banging on doors and like, help me, help me, help me. And she said to the one lady, if you don't let me in, if you don't help me, he's going to kill me. So that's scary. So that one lady called 911 because, of course, she was like, taken off guard. Like, what do I do? So she called 911. The victim carried on running around and banging on doors, and eventually a granny let her in. So a woman whose house it is, her grandmother, was there at the time and let her in, gave her a blanket, gave her some food, and called the police. So those are two separate people, just in case you didn't know that.
Say to those neighbors who played a role and got involved.
That's Excelsior Springs for you. I mean, you guys have probably been out here more than we would like to see you guys out here in the last few weeks and months. But every time you come out here, I think that's the message that seems to rise up, is that Excelsior Springs community steps up, they help each other. And I mean, it was apparent at 8 o'clock in the morning before she went to work, she was willing to let a stranger into her house looking how she looked. That had to be frightening. So
what makes this a multi-day investigation?
The crimes, the nature of the crimes. So it just makes it so that we can't finish it in a day. That's the reality of it. We just can't finish it in a day and make sure that we've crossed all of our T's and dotted our I's.
Some neighbors have been wondering if there were multiple victims.
Yeah, we're not commenting on that at this time.
Is this the only crime?
So of course he's not saying no, there are no other victims, which one might expect. He says we are not commenting on that at this time, and it's going to be several days worth of even just processing the evidence that they're collecting. So it sounds very hectic. We don't know how many potential victims there may be in that house, which is scary to think about.
Scene that you are investigating.
It is.
With the cadaver dog, that suggests that potentially looking for someone who may have died. Have you seen any signs of a person having died in that house at this stage in the investigation?
Other than the cadaver dog, we're not providing any comment on that part of the investigation.
I know you can't provide details, but did the dog find something?
So I can't provide what its findings were preliminary. They're going to give us an exact report is what they told us. And as soon as they give that to us, we expect that soon, I would assume.
But you can't say they found something?
They're going to give us a report of their findings, whether it was positive or negative. So
he's being, like he can't say exactly what they found because that would be shocking. Like you can't, unless the report comes out. So that's what we'd be waiting for, is just and it could take a while, huh? Just think about all the forensics they have to do in this scene, depending on what it is. It doesn't sound good so far. It sounds very sinister.
The way I understand it from my detectives is that they're going to give us a report. I don't know for sure.
And my understanding is whether you found some preliminary indication of another victim or not, you would have called the cadaver dog solely based on the statement of the victim.
Correct. Her statement is pivotal. So, and as I mentioned multiple times, we just want to make sure that we leave no stone unturned. So that's part of that process. Again, that goes Kansas City. We've got surrounding municipalities, whether it's Liberty Police Department, the State Highway Patrol. You'll see all of them out here at some point tonight. They're all helping us tonight. So
They said there's at least half a dozen agencies helping in this case now, so that's also interesting. And you guys, I just turned on subscribers only mode. You only have to subscribe for 1 minute, and then you can chat along with us. If you weren't subscribed yet, please feel welcome to. I do that to avoid, those naughty bots, because they usually roll in around the 1,000 viewers watching mark. It's just to protect our chat.
So.
Do you know how she's doing? I mean, is she going to be okay? Obviously, mentally it's difficult, but I understood she was malnourished and all of this.
Yes.
Is she still receiving care at the hospital?
She is. Her family has shown up there, and they're with her. So as far as mentally, that's probably going to be the most challenging part for her. Physically, I think she's going to be fine.
The man who
Sorry if the questions are a little bit softer as well. It's not really my fault, but if I boost it, then his voice is going to be a little too loud. It's just a little bit soft because they're in the background there. Wild Mountain Time says, I hope the little boy's in a safe place right now, and I sure hope he didn't witness anything. Me too. Are there women reported missing in the area? Yes. I mean, yes. And so we'll look at that a little later. But we don't want to, of course, scare families, because in some of those cases, I'll show you a clip so that you see what I mean. The families were saying they don't want, this was already months ago, they don't want people sending them links of like, oh my word, your daughter could be the victim of a serial killer. And that was a few months ago, as I say. So I'll show you the clip. Just make sure no one harasses the families, okay, or scares them, because it's already scary enough. As they say, we've already thought of the worst. But yes, there are women reported missing in the area. Good morning to Rochelle Pranzo. Thank you for being here. Okay, here we go.
lived here, did he own the home or rent the home?
He did not own the home. So he is not the homeowner here, but this is his primary residence.
Have the homeowners been notified about the crime
Yes.
scene?
Hmm.
Are the homeowners family members?
No.
With all of the rumors going around the city, what's your message?
So I would assume that he's renting, and he said this is his primary residence. So I wonder how many other residences he has where there's rumor on Facebook. So that's pure rumor that he comes from Illinois, which is also interesting if you think of Gacy, huh? Oh my word. And so I wonder if he has other residences and if they're also going to search that. That would be interesting. Welcome to membership to Spin Cycle Dragon.
The Excelsior Springs is safe. We have him in custody, and we are doing our best to serve you guys. And then the follow-up to that is please just give us some grace when it comes to this location. We need this area to give justice to the victims and make sure that she is taken care of and that this case doesn't fall by the wayside. So please give us some grace in this area. It's going to be really difficult for the coming days for them to move in and about this area.
So welcome to Eddie Hopper. Just finding out about this. How many missing or how many victims? I'm going to answer the question in case anyone else is also just joining now. So one kidnapping victim escaped that was held hostage in this house in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. A 23-year-old African-American woman. She had a metal collar around her neck when she escaped and was begging people to help her and said, if you don't help me, he's going to kill me. So that is scary. And she said that 2 of her friends didn't make it. She said, he killed my friends, they didn't make it. So we don't know at this point at all yet. I'm just covering this as an intro because I want to follow this case and I want to, see what happened here. What is going on? Could this be a serial killer? It could be, especially based on what the victim said. And that we don't know then how many victims. That's a scary thought, actually. Oh, my word.
Involved in a missing persons case or anything like that?
Not to my knowledge at this point. We have had where she is from, that Metro agency has been looking into that.
Where is she from?
I can't say at this time.
Nearby though?
They said the Kansas City metropolitan area is what they said earlier where she's from in the presentation that I did for you guys. So that is where she's from. He said victims, that means more than one, says LM Sparks. Faye Vibe says, do we know how long she was held for? We actually don't know. He just says for a significant amount of time. So we don't know how long. Yes.
Not charging him yet because you're still waiting for results from the cadaver dog? Or
No, we are just filling out our probable cause affidavits. That's all we're doing. That's all just...
I wonder if that result would add to it and then you would...
Nope, we'll do...
them all at once.
Nope, we're just going to do our preliminary from today's.
All right. So Gabriel Burns says there's an article that says he doesn't own the residence. Yes, that's exactly what the police officer also just said. So he's just renting this home, but the police officer said he's also this is his primary residence, which makes me wonder if he has other residences, where they are, and if they're also going to check those. That would be interesting. Okay. Wow.
This incident.
Is she, I know you're not saying where she's from, we certainly wouldn't want to identify her, but is she from the local area, not out of the Kansas City?
She's from the Metro.
Okay, thank you.
From the Metro. Okay, so what I want to show you now quickly, just hold on 1 second, please. Just want to see something. Yeah, it would be this one. This, I'm going to show you this. Then we look at map time, then we look at more clips, okay? So this is now not related to this case specifically, but it is about missing people in the area. So they say Kansas City family searching for missing teen, pleas for false serial killer rumors to stop. And that was September 27th, 2022. Okay. So this is interesting. I just found this clip quite interesting. And they do mention 3 people that had gone missing in the Kansas, Missouri area between September 9th and September 20th. One of them, Jada White, was a 15-year-old girl that she went missing and she was found. But there's still 2 missing, which would be Jayana Brown. She went missing on September 20th. And there's 15-year-old Cherish Pearson from Kansas City, went missing September 15th. So that's interesting as well. I really hope that they are not victims of this monster. So let's have a look at this clip just so we can see what I've just spoken about.
It's that same fear and pain for local families that fueled rumors on social media about an alleged serial killer.
Yeah, dear. Someone posted a video claiming 4 bodies were found near 85th and the Paseo, and there were more missing women as well. Our assignment desk reached out to Kansas City Police, who told us they did not recently respond to that area or any calls like that. Our team reporter Sarah Blake also combed through our past reports and emails from the police department to verify. As for the rumors of missing Black women and girls, we know of at least 2 missing girls. Our reporter confirmed with family members and police. One of them has been found safe. The other, Gianna Brown, is still missing.
So Gianna Brown is still missing, as well as Cherish Pearson from Kansas City, Missouri, which is where the escaped victim was also from the metropolitan area.
There are lots of resources for you to check on reports like this, whether it's something on social media or even our stories. Kansas City Police provide a daily homicide analysis. It's updated daily. Not only that, the department has this website where you can see current missing people from all over the city. Another resource is the Missouri State Highway Patrol website.
I wish it showed current. I mean, I just couldn't. I went to look at that site, and some of them were missing from like 1950. So I want to browse through that as well. The Kansas City Police Department is the site where they're showing the missing people.
Where you can organize active missing people by race, date of birth, even where they've gone missing from. These are just a few data points we use to fact check or confirm data around missing people and homicide. You know, these rumors can cause more pain for local families. Kevin, you mentioned Gianna Brown is still missing.
Our reporter Megan Abundance talked with her loved ones today and has a word of caution from police.
From door to door in Hickman Hills and Ruskin neighborhood streets, the Brown family is asking for help.
September 9th, about 6:30 or 7, my niece went missing.
Passing around 17-year-old Gianna's picture.
Yeah, it's been 17 days now, so I'm just trying to see if anybody may have seen anything.
Not always coming away with answers.
Shame. I can just imagine the pain just of someone just going missing, and he's looking for her everywhere. So this would be for Gianna Brown. And you know what's scary is that at the end of September, someone had put out these false claims that 4 bodies were found and there's a serial killer in Kansas City, Missouri. And so those rumors were quietened down. But now what's scary is that there really could be a serial killer in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. And imagine if it is linked to the same person. That is scary.
Lavera Brown says her daughter walked away and didn't come back. Police say she's still missing.
I wish she could find her way back home, and whatever is going on, we can find a solution for it. No problems too heavy.
Something is just not right.
The Browns wanting answers, especially after the negative impact of a viral video with false claims of a serial killer.
We got a serial killer again, and ain't nobody.
See, this guy was like, we have a serial killer again, which is interesting. And they were like, please stop the false rumors. But now there could be a serial killer. I'm just saying, oh my word, that's scary. He was kind of, I don't know, he seemed to be onto something, you know, and people silenced him.
They're saying nothing.
Police say that's completely unfounded. The video by the Kansas City defender has since been deleted. Some commenters connected Gianna's disappearance to
What's up to the Pascal show? This is a wild story. Oh my word, I saw your coverage of this yesterday as well. This is a crazy story. Thank you for being here.
When you heard about those really awful rumors last night, that probably made your family worried.
Yeah, it definitely affected the way I know my kids were feeling.
It's not true, and so please don't call us and send links with those kind of informations. We already can think the worst on our own. All we would ask if your prayers are needed, and if not, you know, just not send us the links. It's not helpful at all. We understand the outcome of negativity in society, so we don't need to have anybody embark that on us with titles or web links or anything like that.
The Browns now hoping to turn the harm in.
So please don't do that, you guys. If you find the family on Facebook or on social media, don't send them links of, oh my word, your missing loved one could be the victim of the serial killer. Don't do that.
to fuel for hope.
Nobody's gonna know if we don't say something. Like, she's just gonna be out there.
Megan Abundis, KSHB 41 News.
So that's some examples of people who are missing in the area. Jayana Brown and Cherish Pearson. Cherish went missing on September 15th and Jayana Brown September 20th. So, wow. Now, I guess, let's have a look at this. Let's just take this off here. And I know you guys want to see on the map what exactly this looks like. So shall we do that? Let's do map time, and then we'll go back to the clips because there's lots to look at still and lots to learn. So I hope you're taking notes. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to adjust this quickly so we can see it really nicely. And I've got to take myself out the way. Okay. So this is the house. Let's make it even better. Wait, like this. Yeah, let's look at the whole area. Okay. Okay, so I'm just starting at the house so that we can look around here, and then I'll zoom out so you can see the area. But it's Excelsior Springs, Missouri. Okay, so this is the house. It took me a little while to drive around this area, so buckle up, everyone. So if we look around here, I'm just showing you around the houses. Lots of houses around here. The house is kind of on a corner, and it's 301 Orchard Road. They did some construction here. This says 2022 Google, so I don't know exactly when this construction happened, but you can see construction was happening on this road, which is also, I wonder if that would factor in at all. My voice is out of sync? Why? Why? Can you hear me okay? So, if we do this, this is the house. Okay, you can see it here. We can go around like this. It's okay now. Okay, good. It's so weird how blurry it gets here if you go like around the corner here, but this is also the house here. Oh, you see what I mean? It's so weird, but here. All right. I just want to go this way again and see what it is. Yeah, it gets so blurry, man. But anyways, this is the house. And if I zoom out, oh wait, let me go around the corner and show you the basement. Buckle up. I've got a buckle up emoji for you guys now as well. Buckle up, everyone. There you go. This is the basement area. So we'll listen to one of the neighbor's statements about what she's saying about him kind of like just peeping over this area. She's not too sure what he was doing here. He was often working on his truck and things like that. So yeah, look at the little steps going up here too. I just want to go a little bit forward if I can. Not too much, not too much. There we go. Okay, so this is the house where she escaped from. Hello, Lieutenant Peter Pronzo. Good to see you. You're like, there's an excavator out front. What? Yeah, construction probably doesn't factor in. It appears to be water lines, all on the city side. Wouldn't be on his property, most likely. Probably not. I agree with you. I just see sometimes, well, you know how Facebook can be, you guys. I don't like Facebook, but I'm on it now. Because I wonder sometimes I miss out on some information. And so I'm on it now. And there, people are speculating about all this, equipment. They were saying, someone commented on Facebook as well saying, I see a backhoe out there. Now, I'm not sure if they're talking about all this that we see now, like all the construction equipment and the pipes and everything, or if they mean like literally right now. But anyway, it's pretty creepy, yeah, now thinking about it, about what may have happened in this home, which they're still investigating. So again, this is part 1 of covering this case because there definitely will be a lot of coverage. All right, so if we look here, it's in this corner house here. So if we zoom out, I'm just showing you so you can see where it is. Here's the Excelsior Springs High School. So that's not where the kid was. His kid went to, obviously, we would call it primary school. Ali says, no basement windows. Creepy. Yeah, oh dear, a backhoe. So, yeah, Excelsior Springs, Missouri, a small community. Here's Kansas City. And from the Kansas City metropolitan area is where these other 2... Actually, this is where all 3. It's Jayana Brown, Cherish Pearson are still missing persons. And then the woman who escaped his house, a 23-year-old African-American woman, whose identity is being protected, of course, at this point, right? She was from that area too. So he might actually, speculatively, of course, drive there to find victims. Wow, that's scary, right? So just so you can see where it all is, right? Hope that makes some sense. Oh, man, now I've lost my place on the house. Is it this corner one here? I think so. Yeah. This corner one. Okay. 301. Orchard Drive. This one. Yeah, so I want to look again at the basement like you guys are saying. Let's go a tiny bit closer. Yeah. So there's these little steps leading up here to the back. Here's the basement. I wonder where the lady got out and how. I'm so glad she did. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad she got out. It must be so scary. So would the woman scream or make noise? I'm glad she got free. How did she escape? I'm not 100% sure how she escaped, but she escaped while Timothy Haslett Jr. was dropping his first grader off at school. And then she was running around the area, banging on doors. She had a metal collar around her neck and looked very malnourished, according to reports. And someone let her in and kept her safe until the police arrived. Yes. She was saying over and over again to the lady who let her in, that her 2 friends, she says, he killed my friends didn't make it. He killed my friends didn't make it. She said she was saying that over and over again, which is very sad to think about. So the police are yet to confirm that. Yeah, garage door open a little bit. I mean, this is from 2022 from what I could see, the Google Maps, so it's pretty accurate. But yeah, this is open a little bit, so I'm not too sure where she would have gotten out from or how she was restrained or anything like that. We will still find out. Okay. So that's the map time. It's always funny when I have to go to resize myself and fly. Now, let's look at these clips here.
Okay, so this morning at about 7:47 this morning, Excelsior Springs police officers got reports of a woman going door to door, screaming for help, banging on the door. The original call was that she had a rope around her neck. Officers located her at a residence down the street. A woman had taken her in and sheltered her until we could arrive. Once we made contact with her, it was readily evident that she was being held against her will at some point.
So the initial call, the 911 call, was someone who hadn't let her in, but saw her running around, banging on doors, asking for help. She called 911 and said there's a woman running around, and she's begging for help and saying he's going to kill me. And she said that the victim has got a rope around her neck. But later, when another lady actually let her in and gave her a blanket and some food, she called the police at 7:47 a.m., I believe it was, on Friday, October 7th, and she said she had a metal collar around her neck. Someone here is asking, Harriet, is the suspect married? He was married. And he got divorced in 2016, according to what I've learned from records online. And he apparently, so this one I'm not 100% sure of, but he apparently got full custody of his son in 2018. So yes.
And there was clear signs of that to the officers at the time. We then had her transported by ambulance to a local area hospital where she's receiving treatment. She's stable at this time. She made some statements to us, which led us to this residence here behind us. We then gathered a search warrant. We're in the process of executing that search warrant at this time. We have no further victims that we are aware of at this specific moment in time. We are still processing the warrant.
So they're being very careful with the information they share. Of course, they don't know how many victims, if there are other victims, but he does say due to the nature of these crimes, and he does say victims. So I don't know. It sounds very scary. Tara says, I don't believe the son lived with him all of the time. Let's hope this monster didn't expose this baby to his madness. Exactly. Yeah, thinking of that first grader as well. This must be incredibly traumatic. You know, depending on how much he knew about his, what his dad was like or doing, I would doubt it. I would think that his dad would have everything very well compartmentalized, because a lot of times, if this is a serial killer, a lot of times they compartmentalize their lives really well, so that family and kids and stuff don't know anything that they're up to. And as you say, maybe he didn't have full custody, but joint custody of his son. And one of the neighbors actually said, I sometimes saw either the mother or either the mother of the child or, the grandmother picking him up. So maybe he did stay somewhere else for a bit, and maybe that's when he committed these crimes. We don't know. You make a good point. Yes.
And that all is subject to change. So she made mention of other victims, but there's no signs of them at this time that we have found. So while we work this scene and process through all of this, we are also trying to corroborate some of her story and make sure that if there is other victims, that we try and reach out to them and or their family. So we're all in that process. This is still very much an active investigation. While we process that, I will try to relay as much information to you as I can.
They're being really great. Talking to the media, being very forthcoming with information that they can share right now. Tar Heel Fans 98 said, do we believe this was an adult escaped? Yes, apparently she was 23 years old. The woman that had helped her, taken her in, gave her a blanket and food, said she was 23 years old and an African-American woman. So yes, and Empress Infinite, we don't know exactly how long she was there. All we know is that the police have said for a significant amount of time. Betty says, BS, there's other victims. The girl told them so. Betty, I hope you don't have a YouTube channel, because if you do, please be careful with language like that. If law enforcement hasn't confirmed it, we can't just say, yes, there's definitely other victims and this is definitely a serial killer. We can only speculate at this point, and we're waiting for information from them. The basements are normal in most areas of the US, you guys are saying. Okay. So Excelsior Springs is 1 hour from me, 57 miles. Goodness. And Caroline says, some bad guys manage to keep family out of super inner sanctum in the basement or in the garage, which might be both. Here, exactly. A 6-year-old terrorized into avoiding the area. Easily believable. Exactly, Caroline.
And I'm sorry it took this long. We're not trying to keep any information from anybody. We just want to make sure that we respect the victims and make sure that all of their needs are met. Okay, so I won't be taking any questions at this time. That's the update that we're willing to provide at this point in time. And here in a little bit, we'll probably reach back out to you guys, okay? We do have a suspect in custody. I guess I left that part out. We do have a suspect in custody. We don't think there's any other suspects at play. So the community is safe. Everything is under control. This is probably going to be an active area for a long period of time into the night. So
a long period of time. KT06, thank you so much. You say like BTK. Crazy how they can manage to lie. Exactly. Yes. A lot of them, I mean, even if we look at Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Which I wrote a book on, if you didn't know, if you're brand new here. My word, did he compartmentalize his life. And that's how he stayed undetected for so long. So a lot of times, serial killers will especially if they're organized, right? They will very well compartmentalize their lives, and friends, family, kids they might not know a thing at all. Oftentimes they don't. Andrew says she could have arrived with friends or girls already there. So horrific. Exactly. Terrible.
So, understand that there may be some traffic concerns and things like that going into this area specifically. Okay?
Do you have any idea how long she might have been there in the house?
We do, but we're not willing to release that information yet. Okay?
Did the victim and the suspect, did they know each other?
We don't have any indication of that at this time.
Did they ask, did the victim and the suspect know each other? He said, we don't have any indication of that at this time. Because sometimes, like in the Ariel Castro case, one of the victims was actually friends with his daughter, from what I remember. There was a connection there. So I wonder if there is any connection. Thank you, KT06. I really appreciate it. And if you're just here watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Please hit the thumbs up and share this so this gets out in the media. I would love to see more content creators cover this and let this get out so that there can at least be awareness of the case. And of course, the next fight would be justice for the victims, if there are more than one victims, but already justice for the kidnapped victim, right? Sure. Okay. So let's just quickly remove this. And then you guys are asking how far it is. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Kathy. Michelle Knight was friends with Castro's daughter. Exactly. Okay. So, yeah, sometimes there can be connections like that. Let's just quickly see from Kansas City. Metropolitan area. Show you guys now. It's what? 301 Orchard. Okay. Map time round 2. It is Orchard Avenue. Excelsior Springs. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, so it is 39.2 miles. So about 40 miles. 40 miles away. So if he is or was picking up victims there, kidnapping people from there, he would take a 40-mile drive there, of course, speculatively. Here's the metropolitan area. Okay, so if I remove that again. All right. America Post says, thank you for getting this information out. There needs to be more on local news when someone goes missing. Yes. All right, so I've showed you that. Now let's listen to this one, which is pizza delivery man recalls encounters with the alleged kidnapper.
Your mom lives here. You don't live here, but your mom lives right here?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, first of all, just what you know about the people who live in this house or what you've seen.
I mean, I come over here couple, 2-3 times a week just to hang out with mom, obviously. And every time I've come out here, I shouldn't say every time, but often he's outside, you know, playing with his dog. He's got a little drone that he flies around outside, and he always seemed like he was a little weird, but never anything to that extent. Yeah.
And so you mentioned you've delivered pizzas to that house multiple times?
Yeah, so I used to work at Pizza Hut here in town, yeah, and I've delivered to his house several times, and I always thought it was weird when he asked us to come inside to give the tip, but I mean, several people do that, but for some reason it was just weird with this guy, and clearly we missed something that.
Wow, he's just like, oh my word. I think he's smiling out of fear. Just like, what? I delivered pizza to this man's house for a few years. And when he went there, the guy would ask him to step inside, like come into the living room so that I can give you a tip. Oh, wow.
We should have saw.
Did you go inside?
Yeah, just into the living room, not very far in, just right inside the doorway usually.
When you say weird, is it just a bad vibe? Or did
yes, exactly.
Thank you, AP.
Just quiet. You know, not someone that would invite you into their living room and then not talk. People usually invite you into their living room, they want to talk to you or something. You know, he would be silent after I walk in there. It's just, he's a weird guy.
Yeah. So I know.
That's weird. Step inside, and then he'd be all silent. Oh my goodness.
We're still waiting for confirmation from police, but we at least know they're investigating a kidnapping and sexual assault. So what's your reaction to what we do know so far?
It's insane. I can't imagine I can't believe that happened in this neighborhood. Nothing like that's ever happened around here as far as I'm aware, and it just blows my mind.
Just
can't imagine.
Could be.
Yeah, knowing that you've been.
Magnetic Janet says, peeping Tom with a drone. I mean, I do wonder what on earth was he all filming with his drone, but he very well could have been a peeping Tom with a drone.
There and you've been in that house. I mean, how does that make you feel, or what's your reaction?
Since I've heard about this all this morning, I was sitting at work earlier thinking about it. Like, I wish I would have caught something, saw something that was off, weird. I don't know how long it's been going on for, but I've delivered pizzas to him for a few years, and just never saw anything.
I've been hearing that she may have been banging on doors, the woman that was able to escape, and asking neighbors for help. What do you think about the fact that, a woman had to do that, and that thankfully somebody did wind up helping her?
I'm glad that somebody opened the door. I'm glad that she was able to escape. I don't know how that happened, but thank God.
Exactly. Thank goodness she escaped. Angela Bloom said, did he say playing with his dog outside? So he has a dog too? Yep. He has a dog and a son who's a first grader. Yep. Yeah, and you guys all saying, yep, voyeur with a drone. Creepy. That is so creepy. Oh my goodness. Rochelle Pronzo says, glad you found this. That's a long name. Glad you found this terrific YouTube channel, and us Grizzlies, welcome. Yes, welcome. If you're brand new here, welcome. My name is Gisela K. I am South African living in the Netherlands, and love talking about true crime with you guys. Yes, note to self, eat pizza. Note to self, don't become a delivery driver, right? Yes, he does have a son, a young son, and he was busy dropping him off at school the day when this woman escaped, a 23-year-old kidnapped victim who he held hostage for a significant amount of time. We don't know how long that is. That's the other thing. I'm so curious about how long was she there? I mean, we don't know if is it months? Is it years? What is it? Like, wow. Someone's saying, why is he laughing? I just want to see. Empress Infinite, why is he laughing? I would assume he's got the same anxiety as I do. Sometimes I might have a giggle at a time where people are like, why is she laughing? Because I'm very anxious. It might be that. Not sure. But let's look at this lady over here.
Wow. I'd say a lot of sketchy
A neighbor.
stuff. I mean, very to himself.
Just stand by 1 second. So her name is Missy Hancock. I don't know. You guys let me know. To me, she seems like a true crimer. I like Missy Hancock. Hi, Missy. AP says, do another collab with Aaron Stoner. I am in contact with Aaron Stoner. And he's also looking at the footage in the Kylie Rodney case. So, yeah, we love Aaron Stoner.
Got a little boy, but he has a drone that he would use a lot. But no, I actually just spoke to him one time over the summer. I just went over there and introduced myself. His little boy was jumping on the trampoline, and I said, hey, I've lived here 3 years, how you doing? And just very like, what? Kind of move on out. He wasn't about it. Just kind of very to himself. Well, he works on his truck a lot and usually has a car or a vehicle out there. He works in his driveway a lot. But yeah, the garage, I don't know what's up, but it would only usually come off the ground about that much. So he just kind of roll in like that and shut it and then roll back.
Very interesting. That's a weird one, right? Like, what if she just, that's very creepy what he would do there. I like how she describes him, just that he, just like, what? So let's just say it. Let's call it as it is. He's an asshole, okay? Of course he is, but really he already was in the community. He's known probably as the community asshole.
Well, he works on his truck a lot and usually has a car or a vehicle out there. He works in his driveway a lot. But yeah, the garage, I don't know what's up, but it would only usually come off the ground about that much. So he just kind of roll in like that and shut it.
So it's maybe that garage door we just looked at there, at the bottom level there. Just sliding in and out of there. That's strange.
And then roll back out. So that was odd. Yeah. I've never seen anybody over there outside of maybe a mother or mother-in-law picking up his child for school. That's about it. But he just worked on his vehicle all the time, home all the time. I don't know what happened in the last couple of years, but it's just
home all the time. See, Missy, she's got all the points. We love Missy. Missy, if you're watching and you want to come here and be on the show, if you want to talk to us and tell us more, I think you think like a true crimer.
Or mother-in-law picking up his child.
I just want to hear that again because you said a mother or a mother-in-law picking up, the young boy.
Roll in like that and shut it and then roll back out. So that was odd. I've never seen anybody over there outside of maybe a mother or mother-in-law picking up his child for school. That's about it. But he just worked on his vehicle all the time, home all the time. I don't know what happened in the last couple of years, but it's just been home the entire time. So definitely a little sketchy, a little mountain manish.
I really like Missy. Definitely a little sketchy, a little mountain manish. Yes. You go, Missy. You tell us. Okay, so let's see what else I've got lined up for you here. So we've looked at the police clips. There's also this one where I think, we can see a little bit more above the house, chopper footage. Yeah, she's observant. Very nice. Yeah, and her face explains it all. Basement, garages, and vans with no windows. No thanks. Donut's like, who's Missy? The lady we just saw. She lives in the neighborhood. One of the neighbors across from this house where the woman escaped, where a kidnapper and potential serial killer was just arrested. Missy was giving us her account of what he was like. For those of you just joining now, we are looking at a case when where a 23-year-old African-American woman escaped a house in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, on 301 Orchard Drive. She was running around as she escaped. Her kidnapper had left the house to drop his son off at school. He had a first grader. Well, he has a first grader as a son. And he was dropping his kid off at school. The lady escaped and was running around the neighborhood, banging on doors, begging for help. And she was wearing a metal collar. And she looked very malnourished, according to all reports. And the police said you could see immediately that she'd been restrained for a significant amount of time. So we don't know how long that is. And so one woman called 911, and another woman actually let her in, gave her a blanket, gave her some food, and kept her safe until the police arrived. And based on her statements, and after she'd been taken to the hospital to, be taken care of, where she's now in a stable condition, and her family met with her there. That must have been a very emotional time. Oh my goodness. Because we don't know how long she's been missing for either. Then they went and executed a search warrant at the house, and they found so much stuff that you just see so many, I think we're going to see it in this clip, so many bags being carried out of evidence. There's a blue barrel. There's a cadaver dog that was there, and they're waiting for an actual report, of course, from the forensic team to see, are there other victims, and would these be murder victims? Is this a serial killer? Wow. So that's what we're looking at. Betty says, I'd like to hear how police apprehended him. Did he know the girl was missing? Was he at the house? Man, I would love to hear that too. So if you guys find that, please send it to me. I'm also so curious about that. All right. I just see. Okay. Sorry if I missed some of your messages.
This is out of Clay County. News Chopper 9 is over Excelsior Springs, where several streets have been blocked off due to a police investigation. I'm Laura Moritz.
And I'm Kelly Eckerman. The Clay County Sheriff says it's part of a kidnapping and sexual assault investigation.
Damn, they just say all those words out. Stop it. Okay, YouTube's going to be like, oh no. So what did I want to, I wanted to say, could there be other victims? Speculatively, yes, because the victim who escaped said, my friends didn't make it. He killed my friends. My friends didn't make it. She said two of her friends. So there could be two victims who, according to the victim who escaped, didn't make it and were killed. She said he killed my friends. And we also, if he killed those friends, we also don't know how many more people he may have killed throughout the years. I don't know exactly how old he is. Man, I can't remember exactly how old he is. If you know, please put it in the chat. I did read it earlier.
The scene is off Old Orchard Road, less than a mile from the Elms Hotel and Spa.
So they're doing some map time too. We've done some map time already. If you missed it, make sure you watch the replay. And also, oh, Lex Luthor, you got to get an auto sensor bleep. Yes, please. Can you email me and tell me how to get that? I'm writing it down. I want it. I want an auto sensor bleep. That's what I want. Because sometimes, I mean, I'm so well behaved saying all the right words, and then you put the news articles on and they just bleep it all out right there. Well, they just say it. I would like to bleep out what they're saying. Man, someone asked something here that I just missed. Just hold on 1 second, please. Yes, Sue asked, did this happen on the 7th? Friday, the 7th of October is when this happened, yes.
KNBC 9's Emily Hallwick is there after talking with police. Emily, what do we know at this point?
Well, police tell us that early this morning, a woman ran from this White House on the corner here down the street, banging on doors and screaming for help. Officers have been on this scene all day after she said that she was kidnapped, held against her will, and sexually assaulted. Excelsior
And listen how they say those words. I need the bleeper.
Springs police were called here to 301 Old Orchard Avenue around 7:40.
What is this? Like, I keep looking at is it decoration? What is it? It's so, I don't know. Doesn't mean anything. I'm just like looking at I had to look at all the details of the house so I could drive around with Google Earth and find the house, just to look properly. Is this it? This, comparing everything, Yes. I want a code software that turns every beep into curse words. Hey. Wow.
7 a.m. They say a neighbor took in the victim who had a rope around her neck at the time. Officers say.
But the lady that took her in said it was a metal collar. So I'm just saying that it could be a rope. The police have said the first caller said a rope, but apparently the person who took her in said she had a metal collar, which would make more sense to say you could see that she was restrained for a significant amount of time.
That it was evident she had been held against her will. Neighbors tell us a man and a young boy live at this home. Police say they did take one person into custody. The victim is at a hospital in stable condition. Police are now executing a search warrant inside this home. There have been a lot of rumors circulating on social media that there could be more victims. Here's what police told us about that.
Look at the neighbors. I mean, they must be panicking. This must be so scary. Can you imagine if this happened in your area? And they could be then a serial killer in your area, and then you find it out later. We're all yet to find out. I'm watching this case. I'm watching the news. I'll report back if there's anything, once we're in the live stream, whatever. Like if tomorrow there's more news, or this week, or whenever it is, this month, in 3 months, whenever, I'll report back and I'll let you know because I'm going to follow this case.
We have no further victims that we are aware of at this specific moment in time. We are still processing the warrant, and that all is subject to change. So she made mention of other victims, but there's no signs of them at this time that we have found.
So police are still combing through this property inside and outside. Again, they did go through an initial search to make sure that there was no one inside before getting that search warrant to do a more thorough investigation. We've also talked to neighbors who you can imagine are shaken by this news. We talked to one who says that he's delivered pizza to this home multiple times and he's even been inside. We'll hear from him coming up at 5 o'clock.
All right. And now let's find, because I've got something else here. Is it this? Wait for it. Oh, yeah. Here's some chopper footage as well. There's no sound on this one. So we could just have a look. Yes, after all evidence is found, please demolish that house. I would agree with that. So you could see the tape all around the house. It says police line do not cross. And again, this clip doesn't have sound. It's just the footage. I thought you might want to see that. The helicopter footage, so we could see what are they all searching for. They were searching all around the house, inside, outside, in the backyard, everywhere. Look there. It looks like a nice street. It does. Angela. Let's see what happens if I pause. Yeah, okay, cool. Sometimes if you pause it, then all the adverts pop up, so we'll have a look at that now. Angela says, my family always told me when I was little that if anyone ever took me, they'd bring me right back. Oh, man. Yes, and he rented the house. We covered that in the beginning. If you guys missed the beginning, please go and check it out and listen to the stream on 1.5 speed. Then you can catch up on everything that we've already said here. Thank you for being here. You can see they're putting a whole bunch of, I don't know, are they putting things in these bags or looking? It looks like they've got gloves on, of course. Look at all this. I don't know. Whoa, I don't know what's going on here, but there's a lot that they're collecting. That's what they've said, right? It's a big house, yeah. So many bags of evidence. They had brown paper bags as well. There was a blue barrel. So I put a lot of information in the description box for you guys. There's a barrel as well here. You see it? Here's like a tarp. And I've also linked the sources of the videos for you guys. Wait. Let's see. There's a lot of, quite a lot of them. And what is going on here? My word. And they're looking over here as well. This is, I know you guys are saying give me Dahmer vibes, but that's probably just because of the blue barrel, right? I would think that this is Ariel Castro vibes meets John Wayne Gacy. That's the vibes I'm getting, which is scary. Lex Luthor, I'm not 100% sure. How many houses did she have to knock on before someone opened? Ozzy Mozzie says it's interesting is so disorganized by looking at the house, looking at previous serial killers, they present as rather clean and organized. Sometimes in compartmentalized areas. Like if you do think of Jeffrey Dahmer, wow, like the kitchen area and living room area was very well maintained with a tropical fish tank and plants and everything. But then if you went into his bedroom, it was very different. Wow. You could see them just packing things up here. Okay. So that's there. Then I think here's some more of it. Oh, maybe this is the same one. Wait. I think this is the same one.
Neighbors sat and watched
yeah,
as detectives took bags of evidence out of the house on the corner of Old Orchard Avenue.
This is going to be a multi-day process.
Police say a woman ran from the home, screaming for help on Friday morning.
It was readily apparent that she had been held against her will for a significant period of time.
She told police she was kidnapped and sexually assaulted. She also says there are more victims. We asked, police won't comment on that.
This is an ongoing, we continue to find more and more stuff.
A cadaver dog also searched the property. Video from News Chopper 9 shows detectives combing through evidence on the side of the house. Still, no specifics on what they found.
We just want to make sure that we leave no stone unturned.
What they will say is this investigation will take a while.
The nature of the crimes. So it just makes it so that we can't finish it in a day. That's the reality of it.
Now, neighbors are waiting to learn what exactly that reality looked like.
Excelsior is a small community, so it's kind of...
So you saw there the cadaver dog. He's so cute. Oh no, he's just like on a mission. So now what I want to show you, just hold on 1 second, please, is... Yeah, they said Lex Luthor, significant period of time. I just wonder what that would be, right? Okay. Just hold on one second. Okay. So I'm going to add this one to the stream here. We just wait 1 second. I just want to quickly do this. Oh, okay. So Hidden True Crime actually interviewed the lady whose house it was, where the kidnapped victim was let into. Her grandmother was there. So here's a short clip from an interview that was done on Hidden True Crime where she spoke. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And then what happened?
And she had,
once you're
well, she had duct tape around her neck too, which we're guessing her mouth was probably duct taped, and we think she probably grabbed it and pulled it down when she escaped.
Wow.
Okay, okay. And then what did your grandmother do after that? Was she brought her inside, took care of her, then what?
Around her neck, she could see ligature marks.
So you saw that? So the victim had duct tape around her mouth that she had pulled down and a metal collar around her neck, which is, wow, that's so scary to think about. So what I'm going to do, I don't have permission to share this right now, so I'm not going to share it right now, but go check it out on Hidden True Crime. Breaking alive, kidnapped woman escapes in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, wearing dog collar and barrel. So Ciara is the lady whose house it was, where the victim was let in, given a blanket, food, and looked after until the police came to get her. So thank goodness for that, and thank goodness the lady survived. So let me just share this. Don't go there now, please. Let's go there after. I'll actually put it in the comments after. That's what I'll do. So just hang on there. Now what I want to show you is this TikTok, because this lady also talks about it.
I live in the small town of Excelsior Springs, Missouri, and this morning, while a man was in the drop-off line at my children's elementary school, a woman escaped his home where she had been held against her will and assaulted. The neighbors found her screaming for help in the road. During an interview with the news, one of the neighbors said that the girl, after they got her safe and in their home, told them that her friends did not make it. And she was in a lot of distress, and she is at our local city hospital now. The man is in custody, and multiple law enforcement agencies are carrying out a search warrant on the home, and they did say that they have cadaver dogs there, but have not said whether or not they have found anything. Helicopters have been circling all day, and our hospital parking lot is filled with FBI vehicles. I'll keep you up. I drive by the house where this girl has been being held captive every single day, and I'm about to drive by it right now. This is right down the street from my house, and I don't even know how far I can go down there. There's not really many places that I can drive and be able to see without like being in the way. I don't want to get close to their investigation. Maybe I can turn right. Yes, I can. I will turn right.
So you can just see all out there.
Yes, unfortunately, this is true. The man who was holding this woman hostage and assaulting her.
Sorry, this is ash.centric on TikTok. If you want to find it, you can see her account here. And she lives in the neighborhood, and she has made some TikToks to share more information with the world about this case, which has been very helpful, actually,
Was dropping
to
off
get it
his
into the
first
algorithm.
grader at the elementary school down the street. I'm sure that I probably was there at the same time as him for open house last month. It's horrible what that child has surely seen. The father is arrested and charged with 3 different counts so far. I did look at the court records. He divorced this child's mother in 2016. She got custody. It looks as though he took her back to court in 2018, which I assume that he was awarded custody at that time. Other members of the community have commented on what a smart little boy that first grader is.
Blonde PT says Lex Luthor on the Hidden True Crime interview. She says she told the police she'd been there since September. Okay. Okay, so since September. So, wow. I don't know. As a true crimer, right? When they're like, a significant amount of time, you're like, is it a decade? Like, okay, whoa. So maybe it's a month, which is more than an hour is a significant amount of time in a situation like that, right? But thank you. Yeah, I got to go listen to that whole interview myself as well. I just wanted to bring you all the news today. And then once I've listened to it, all of it, I'll make some bullet points so we can go over that at some point too. Okay, let's listen to this.
The street is still blocked off. They said this will be a multi-day investigation due to the nature of the crimes. The victim is in the hospital with her family in stable condition. They said that she will make a full recovery physically. The street is still blocked off. They said this is being reported on in the Kansas City area and local news, but it is still very early. It's just now been 24 hours, and the investigation is still underway. Not all of the details have been released yet, and a lot of things going around our small town could possibly be rumors. A very kind neighbor saw her in restraints and struggling and let her come into her home for safety. And she reported that the girl said that she had friends with her that did not make it, but there has been no reports on any findings for any additional victims. Also, the length of time she's been missing, her age, and where she's missing from are all still private.
Mm-hmm.
This will be my last update until there is another press conference and more released from the detectives working the case. The suspect in custody has had multiple different charges for careless and imprudent driving resulting in an accident, and he actually has had a warrant out for his arrest for that since April. Since law enforcement has not yet confirmed much of anything additional about the case, the small town has created quite a bit of rumors that are going around. The strongest rumor that seems to have decent sourcing is saying that there are multiple victims, all of which are deceased, and
Wow.
this is a serial killer situation, but again, that has not been confirmed by anyone.
So that is just what we all suspect, right? Wow, that is so scary. Oh my gosh. So let's just quickly have a look here. I just want to see something on the settings here. Because someone was saying the gifting should be on. It should be on. Yeah. It should all be there. Thank you all for being here on a Sunday. Damn. Good job, everyone. Let's just quickly look at this one because I pinned this for you. Excelsior Springs man charged with SA kidnapping victim stable in hospital. Okay, so brace
now,
yourselves.
this man right there that you see on your screen, Timothy Haslett Jr.
Many vehicles from the area. He said area, so I wonder if it's from the area or from this house, but here is his vehicle anyway that's been towed away. Yes.
Still with her family at her side. Now, they noted they'll be coming back here first thing tomorrow morning. Again, as I said, several days. And they asked the neighbors, they said, look, this area is going to be blocked off for a while. We know it's an inconvenience for you all, but please have patience with us. Give us some grace as we try to make sure that we do not miss a single thing to be sure that this woman gets justice. Reporting live in...
Absolutely. Jeremiah Ems. This is why we never give up searching for missing people. Some of them really are alive somewhere, or someone out there, perhaps many, exactly. Somewhere out there. Never give up on missing persons. I hear you there. Right, Grizzlies? Please make sure that you like this video and share it. Because of all the words that the news channels have said, the reach of this stream will be suppressed. So it would really, I'm counting on you to share it, to get it out into the algorithm. If you could share it, as I see the hashtags that they use is hashtag Excelsior Springs. I think that helps to categorize it all together so people can follow the news on it, especially on Twitter or Facebook. But liking it and sharing it will help a lot. Daughter of Scotland, thank you so much. You say new subscriber. Appreciate your coverage of these cases. Thank you for keeping it real. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for being here. I believe the child is his. That's what they said. He's got a young boy there. That's a good question though, Miss Pudding. Is the child his? According to what that TikTok lady had researched as well, and according to what I researched as well with court records, he did take the mother of his, it's his child, the mother of the child to court. They got divorced in 2016. He took her to court in 2018, and then it's assumed that he got full custody of the son. That we don't know for sure, but in 2018. So yes. All right. I think I've pretty much shown you everything that I wanted to show you today. I just want to check quickly. Yeah, yep. The only other thing would really be Facebook stuff. And sometimes that could be kind of rumor-based stuff. Let me just quickly look what I've got going on here. So if I go on Facebook and type in Excelsior Springs Crime Watchers. Yeah. Rock and roller, new to UG. I love this channel. Thank you so much. If you guys are new to the channel, especially if today is your first time ever seeing me or this channel, I'd recommend you check out yesterday's video that I put up for you because I tell you a little bit about myself. So you might enjoy that if you're curious, So if we just look here quickly, the Excelsior Springs Crime Watchers. There's a lot of stuff, on Facebook you see in the comments sections. So let's just look here where they say, what are they saying here? You see? Now, this is all speculation time. Police are awaiting a search warrant. There have been social media rumors about the possibility of other deceased victims, but we have no evidence of that at this time. Okay, that's the Clay County. All right. Clay County. The Clay County Sheriff's Office is assisting the Excelsior Springs, Missouri Police Department with a reported kidnapping and SA investigation in the 300 block of Old Orchard. A woman reported to Excelsior Springs Police at 7:47 a.m. today that she'd been held against her will and essayed. ESPD worked with our investigators to take a potential suspect into custody. They're waiting a search. Okay. There are rumors on social media that there are additional deceased victims. There's no evidence of that at this time. We hope it's not a serial killer case. I just, the victim who had escaped said, my friends didn't make it, 2 of her friends. So that's interesting too, to consider. There's a lot of stuff going on here, of course. So I don't want to actually spend too much time just browsing through here. If you want to, though, the Excelsior Springs Crime Watchers group is quite interesting to see things. You could just see, wow, even from when I looked before the stream, so much has happened. So many new comments. This is the guy as well. Timothy Haslett Jr. And then they say he was looking rough in that picture. And I can't confirm if this is him, but someone has shared this picture and said that this is him. Okay. So that's what's happening there. So, yes. I see a lot of you guys asking about gifted membership. I don't know what's going on. Remember, YouTube is doing a massive update. They've been doing it for about 2 months. I asked them a few questions recently as well of like, what's going on with this and this and this. Big updates. And when I go to other channels and I'm like in the live chat, I can just see that it pops up that you should allow gifting or not. So I don't know. I don't know. YouTube support would be the best people to ask. I'll ask as well just to know what's happening with it now. But I'm not sure. Jeanette says she said that her friends never made it. So where are they? Exactly. Yeah, such a crazy story. OMG, this poor woman. Well, thank you for being here for today's case coverage. I just want to quickly check one more thing. I'm just checking my messages real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you. See, I missed something, a message from earlier. Thank you to Diana Cusimano Valentin, who said the predator was 39 years old in 2014, according to public information. Okay. 2014, so plus 8, so 39. So it would be around 47. I was going to guess around 45. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, Copper Horse. You're like, gifting isn't gifting. Copper Horse would have to gift memberships. I'll just quickly go look on my membership here. 1 second. Just hold it with me here. Just wait. Oh, giving? No, that's not it. Everything is turned on my side, so I'm not too sure what's going on there, guys. So I hope I will make sure to pin the Hidden True Crime interview in the comments so you can go watch that. I'm also going to be watching that. Let's take some notes and meet again when there's news in this case. And then I wanted to quickly just show you this. Okay. So if you go to my channel here and you go to this video right here, loose ends, red flags, and lessons along the way, I tell you quite a bit about myself there. Just a little bit about, what this community is and what it isn't, how I feel about bullies and things like that, and, what our mission is on this channel. So go check that out if you haven't yet. I hope that you will. You have to allow gifting on each channel. Yes, I think, Shy, you mean the viewers, right? Because everything on my side is turned on. So I think each viewer, because I've also noticed that lately when I'm in live stream chats, you have to allow it. Thank you for being here, everyone. I'm counting on you to share this because, as I say, the news reporters said a lot of words that YouTube just absolutely hates, They said the full thing for SA and the R word, and they said all kinds of things. So it will suppress the reach of the stream. That's why I speak in a censored way. Otherwise, the reach of the stream is suppressed because it's not family friendly, of course, according to YouTube. And the problem with that is that then we can't get the information out about missing persons or victims of crime and things like that. So the true crime genre is really difficult to navigate on YouTube. So really, if you're a content creator in the true crime community, we count on the audience. We're counting on you guys to please share this. Share it also not only today, if you see it again tomorrow or whatever, if you're just on my channel, share it again so we can get the news out. That would really be helpful. Thank you, Thriving Beyond. Yeah, share. Exactly, share. Thank you so much to the mods. I know this was almost 2 hours. The time flies. On a Sunday, really appreciate it. There are many cases that I'm still looking at that I do want to cover, and I'll let you know when there's updates in any of the cases that I have covered. And I do have a second channel, and I really do plan to do stuff on there. It's just been a really busy time here on Grizzly True Crime. So my word, I haven't had a chance to. And I've got members over there already as well. This is called G&T. Thank you to everyone who's joined membership. Your support means the absolute world to me. And I'm so sorry for the disappointment, that is in me not doing anything on there yet. We'll do a live stream there where I really want to get snarky, especially about, we can look at some of the world's dumbest criminals and things like that, things that we can actually snark over. And I want to read you Letitia Stauch's letter at some point over there. We talk about Lori Vallow over there, things like that. I'll always let you know on this channel on a YouTube short or something if I am doing something over there. I just wanted to show you in case you didn't know that I have a second channel where sometimes I reenact my comments like this. So go check that out if you haven't seen that yet. It might be a pick-me-up. So yes. Ange says, super job, Giz. Thank you for pulling this info together for us. We'll look for updates, praise for the victims and families. And thank you so much. And thank you to everyone yesterday on my video from yesterday. Oh my word, your guys' comments are amazing. Like, I'm overwhelmed. So many nice comments. Thank you to everyone who also bought a super thanks over there. If you don't know what that is, after the stream finishes, there's like a little heart with $1 in it. If you click that, you can buy a super thanks after a stream or on any upload or whatever. And thank you so much to you guys who did that yesterday. That was so sweet. Really appreciated. We had Copper Horse and PT Nadaman and a few others buying super thanks there. That was really sweet because I didn't know how that video was going to be received. I was really nervous. I've actually got a bit of a cold today from the stress of yesterday. It was this is waffle time, by the way. If you're new to the channel, we do waffle time at the end because I don't want to leave. I'll make it short though. So yeah, I was super stressed yesterday in making that video and releasing it, but it's been received so wonderfully. So thank you so much. All right. Okay. The hashtag Copper Horse, what I've seen at the moment is that it's just hashtag Excelsior. Let me just go there quickly. Excelsior Springs is what I'm seeing at the moment. So, because Excelsior, I know it's not really showing. Excelsior Springs. Yeah. So if I go there and I type in hashtag Excelsior Springs like that, then the case generally. Thanks, Stefan. Look at Stefan go. Thank you so much. Then the case coverage comes up there. So that's what to use for now. We don't know the kidnapping victim's name. We don't know if they are the victims that they found and who they are and all of that. So, yeah, so for now, I think Excelsior Springs is a really good hashtag to use just to categorize everything. All right. So, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend further. Have a lovely Sunday, and I'll see you again soon. Okay. And yeah, if you're not on Patreon, head over there because there's lots of perks over there for you. Behind the scenes stuff. I didn't get out this weekend, but generally I do. And then I film stuff for you guys. And that's on Patreon. So you can get documents over there and other videos behind the scenes of my life and things like that. So there you go. Bye, everyone.